In 2008, three complete strangers were put together with the hopes of creating the greatest Sony podcast ever heard. Today, unable to stop podcasting, the show survives as connoisseurs of dick and fart jokes. If you need Sony news, are not deaf, and don't want to die of boredom, maybe you can listen to BigRedBarel Blu.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to episode 27 of the Big Red Barrel PlayStation Podcast.
So you're running the show now?
Yep, I'm running the show now, episode 197,
wow.
Using the old metric, which makes us sound super awesome. That's 3 episodes away from 200, which I'm told gives us $80 million apiece once we hit. That's what Tim and Sean and the rest of the owners promised us, $80 million.
Who's Tammin?
What? I said Tim.
Oh, Tim and.
Tim
oh,
and,
your
yes.
accent.
Yeah, damn Canadian accent just screwed everything up again. This week, Sean is gone. Rothbart is not here. He is testing out a new formula of Rogaine.
Wow.
So in his place, we've brought in Esme, our secret weapon.
The go-to?
Someone that's not going through balding. I can't even speak English. Oh my god. Shut up.
Yeah, girls. It's like maybe 1% of the female population can pull off looking bald.
Hardwood floor.
I don't know if that's the term I would use, but what's going on, Esme?
I am going through withdrawals right now because I should be on my PC playing Borderlands. Yeah, I'm recording with you two, so let's get the shit going before I kill Frawlz.
Yeah, she's not even kidding. She's been talking about Borderlands 2 like it's the new type of black tar heroin or super crack.
No, for real, I think I have a problem.
Don't know why I was blaming me.
I'm blaming it on her Borderlands addiction.
Yeah, seriously, whatever. Borderland crackhead.
It's a good crackhead.
And of course we've got Frawlz too. What's going on, Frawlz? Was it fun in PAX?
Dude, was it fun in PAX? I forgot the last time we recorded. I actually forgot how to set this crap up. Yeah, man, dude, I'm not even, like, kidding, dude. It was VIP style everywhere you go at these things, man. Like, one of the biggest things, the best things about PAX is it's for the game players. It's not for the developers. It's not for the people who come up with these games and publishers. It's for the people who love the industry. And being part of that once a year, or actually you can go to Boston and do it now, so twice a year, is just something that is just something you can't get it anywhere else. It's such a great atmosphere, and the parties that go on, and just the industry type stuff that you're exposed to is second to none. I would recommend it highly for anybody to go to these things. Absolutely.
So what was the highlight of PAX for you then, game wise?
Game wise,
smart question.
Are you trying to set me up?
Well, I mean,
Let's talk about something you probably don't.
The highlight of PAX, but you have to tell us the highlight of gaming at PAX.
All right.
First.
First off, the lines are ridiculously long. Okay, and that's the one that you got to prepare yourself.
That's the only game he played.
Is the line. That's what I did. I just kind of stood there and like, this is awesome. And then I went and stood in another one. I was like, this is even better. When does this line come out? Oh, Christmas? Cool. So I basically stood in line for the majority of the time. But if you wanted to play like Borderlands, obviously before it came out, you had to stand in line. If you wanted to play, Zombie U, you had to stand in line. But it was like not just lines. It was like lines to get into lines. It was like, this line stops here, and then you're like, oh, okay, good, it's the end of the line. No, we started another line just so we didn't have to block the entrance. So I was like, oh, and it's all the way around the corner. But I gotta say, the one thing I was worth standing in line for was God of War Ascension, just to be able to play multiplayer, which was such a change. It was so fun to be able to play a multiplayer type of game in the God of War environment. Not only that, but they did it in a special way that allowed you to kind of give you goals. It's not like, kill everybody on the screen. It's like you actually have areas you need to conquer, and then you it's basically it's a team-based battle kind of thing. You have the Spartans versus, I think, the Trojans or something like that. And I kept thinking condoms, which I think everybody else did too, but they really need to have like a magnum weapon.
Better safe than sorry.
Seriously, right? So, but anyways, it was good, man. I enjoyed the game. I got to play the single player. The demo was basically, I would say the demo was about 13 minutes long. Totally worth it. If they do come up with a, be able to play the single player demo to download it, I would say go for it. It doesn't give away any of the storyline. It doesn't give away anything.
It's super cool to hear that you enjoyed that game, and I think you're the first person I talked to who's not like third or like I heard from this person, I heard from that person, who actually played the multiplayer and was like, that could actually be fun. That it does sound cool.
Oh no, I played the multiplayer at E3. I didn't like it. I didn't think it fit.
You didn't like it?
With the God of War.
Oh, that's right. You did play it as well, but you played a much earlier build then.
I mean, sure, I'm sure he played something else differently, but I still feel like multiplayer just does not belong in the God of War universe.
I think it's a good addition. I don't think it's going to make for something that's going to add longevity to the game. I think people are going to get it, play the single player till they're blue in the face, and then they're going to play multiplayer, and then for like a good month and a half. I think it's just a good addition to the game.
If it doesn't take away, you can't really blame them for adding it. But it does, it does have that tinge of we needed multiplayer because everything needs multiplayer.
Yeah, that's what gives me a sour taste. It's just like every developer and publisher now thinks that just by adding multiplayer, it adds longevity to your game. And in all honesty, if it's a good game, it's a good game, and people will freaking notice.
It does have a kind of a Super Smash Brothers feel to it because it's nothing but a button masher. That's the thing about the multiplayer game. Because God of War is all just basically XX square. That's basically the way the game always has been, and multiplayer is the same way. There's no real special moves, but there is some sort of satisfaction about grabbing somebody and just beating the little crap out of them as it zooms in.
The main reason
knowing there's someone else on the other end.
I don't even think is for longevity, but by adding multiplayer, it opens an avenue for microtransactions and more DLC pieces that they can add to God of War to get a lot more money out of that franchise, because previous games didn't have tons of DLC that you could get, or at least not in the way that they could charge for extra characters or extra skins or whatever they want for the multiplayer portion of God of War.
Definitely going to be stuff in there that's going to be, it's definitely going to be more money thrown into this, I think I'd be more than happy to buy something. Because I love the franchise so much. Not like Rothbart and his whole Little Big Planet addiction. Remember when Rothbart bought like chairs? Remember he bought like a bunch of stuff for home? I mean, that was just ridiculous. But like, at least you can play with these skins, So I'll be more than happy to invest in this kind of a platform. But I hate microtransactions. But anyways, the game's great. I had a great time playing it. It was totally worth waiting in line for. The other stuff, to be quite honest with you, and I told everybody else this as well. I was really there for the community and kind of hang out and get to know everybody and see everybody again. Because it's only like once a year where you get to see the Talking Ship guys, Dave, Aladouche, all those great guys that you only see online, but you never really get to see face to face. So, and then Jax too. So I got to hang out with Jax, which was great. So, and drinking with Jax, and you've done this, Esme, is an experience, and I got to do it a few times.
But you've witnessed.
I witnessed it, yes, on the podcast, but I never actually had to drink with her.
She can drink, and I appreciate that. It is awesome.
You appreciate that.
She drinks like when I was 6'5", 300 pounds. Now I'm 6'5", 250. She can outdrink me now, which is amazing because now I know I have a ride home.
That's terrible, dude. All right, we got to get to this agenda. We got a couple housekeeping topics, and then we'll get to some of the big news from the Tokyo Game Show that just happened, or I guess it's still happening technically when we're recording, but will be done by the time the show comes out, which means you'll know some information that we don't know yet. But hopefully it'll all be entertaining and informative until at least 3 or 4 more days, depending when the show comes out. Anyway, first up on the list is Esme's favorite game of the moment, Borderlands 2 hits PSN, or it's on PSN right now for $59.99. It's good that it's on PSN. It's great that it's available as digital download so close to when it launched. But
yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't this the first third-party title to actually be available to come launch date for the PSN? I know they did it with like Uncharted 3, but
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's the first, but it's good. I mean, we're all happy that it.
I don't think Uncharted 3 was right away.
Yeah, no, I'm saying this was at least to my knowledge, it was actually available on launch day for Borderlands 2.
Yeah,
so
it was.
So I think this is like the first time the third party. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. Whoever wants
honestly,
to.
I'm honestly not sure, but it does always, every time it happens, the one thing that people always ask is, how come there's no drop in price for the digital download?
Because you're still paying for the product, you're not paying for the case.
Yeah, well, I know. I mean, you can argue it back and forth, but anyway, it's cool that it's $59.99, and SSX, the snowboarding game, it is the snowboarding game unless I'm going crazy, is $39.99 on PSN as well.
I think it's overpriced at $39.99. but I gotta tell you, I mean, I have it. I bought it at $60, so I had fun with it.
I think the big one's going to be
just that no one's playing it anymore.
Borderlands 2, because they were smart enough to put Borderlands 1 for free to the PlayStation Plus collection, like a week ago or 2 weeks ago, or maybe.
Can I just tell you though, like, the one thing I'm like, this is the wave of the future. Everybody's going to be downloading games now. Fine, awesome, get a bigger hard drive, whatever. But the one thing I'm really kind of annoyed about is the fact that it's going to eliminate midnight launches. You're going to sit at home by yourself downloading something until 2 o'clock in the morning because it's 17 gigs.
I don't know, midnight launches still have collector's editions and all that extra stuff.
If you get it on Steam, for example, I know this is a PlayStation podcast, but like the download became available for Borderlands 2. You could pre-install it, so when the download was complete, you could have done it like 2 days before, and then at midnight is when you were actually able to get into the game. So, and for me now living in the West Coast, and you too, Frawlz, our games are available as of 9 p.m. which is awesome. So
no, I meant like, the Toys R Us and the GameStops are all like, midnight launch, come and do this whole special thing and hang out with us till midnight and come back with a case and hang out with the community. But that's gone now. It's like,
there's still people go out for the collector's edition because they throw the big collections for the big games all come with, like a giant Gears of War gun or something like that. That's still, because they're still throwing, incentives towards, brick and mortar retailers, at least until the PS3 and the 360 are done their cycle. But you're right. It's only a matter of time before midnight launches and all that stuff goes the way of the dodo.
Well, the only reason why I said that is because I was kind of like sitting there. I'm like, well, I got invited to like 2 midnight launches, and then I found out you could get it on the PSN. I'm like, why would I want to just kind of ruin my night and go out?
I still feel like there's still people out there, at least like me, that don't want the whole world to become digital only. I want all my games, or at least 90% of my games, in my home that I actually have in a case. I don't want it to all be like, oh, you have to download this, and what if PSN's down? Oh, you can't really connect to it if it has DRM and shit like that. So I'm really hoping, I'm sure that there's still people out there that will still go to the midnight launches and like still make it apparent that market's still out there. And like Pac-Man said, collector's editions, you can't really get them online, so most people probably go to the midnight launches just to get those too.
You want that high quality, made in Taiwan plastic replica of whatever silly thing. Yeah. And the art book, that I don't even know why anyone considers the art book a good collector's edition item. It's just, anyway, moving on.
It's something to flip through when you're on the toilet. That's it. It's like, I went through 5 pages of Dead Space art. Awesome. Thank you. Now I can wipe.
But what's next on the agenda? We've got the big shocker news about Call of Duty Black Ops 2.
What's that?
Is there's gonna be zombie mode.
Really?
That trailer was so.
It was the teaser trailer they put out is basically creepy. Creepy
bus
music, and then a bus pulls up, and apparently zombies ride the bus now. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, the economy's got in the tanks.
Even the zombies
you're
have
right.
to go
It's a layered, representation.
It's our bleak future when even monsters have to go on public transportation. That's sad.
I know. It sucks.
But
like zombies on scooters.
Just zombies in Black Ops 2. We all knew that was going to happen. Zombies are in everything now.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to go into how many games zombies are in.
Let's talk about all the games you're afraid of.
I'm not a fan. I know some of them are really good, and people always ask me to play, Resident Evil or whatever they want to play, and I just can't. I can't do it. I will wrestle a tiger covered in honey, but I ain't playing no zombie game.
Why is it covered in honey?
Dicky.
I don't know why I said honey. I don't know if tigers really like honey or
Maybe
not.
cover yourself in honey. Get the neighbor's dog.
Oh, okay.
Moving
Mass Effect.
Mass Effect is going to get more DLC. They got another expansion called Omega coming out in the fall.
From the dance club.
But the big news is, that's not really big news at all, is that they're planning another Mass Effect game. And I think anyone who's looked at how many copies Mass Effect has sold goes, of course they're going to make another Mass Effect game.
It's because money.
And of course, everyone, all the real Mass Effect fans are just hoping that it's all going to be about Vega.
No.
Because
no one's hoping that.
Freddie Prinze Jr. is just Oscar caliber 24/7. We need to start a Kickstarter or something and get Vega as the star.
Get him back in movies.
What else do we got that's hitting? Oh, we got a game that Frawlz probably hates. I'm not sure. Okami HD is coming October 30th. My brain's not working. To the PSN for $20, and it comes with PlayStation Move support. Who gives a fuck about that? And 1080p support.
Wow. I love it. I'm sorry. It's great to be on a podcast with someone else who appreciate how bad Move is.
Move's just crap. And that's not me saying that Kinect is good. They're both crap. But Okami HD is, I'm pretty sure it was PS2 game. Yes.
Yes. PS2 game, a really good one, and I didn't get the chance to actually play it, so I'm really looking forward to this.
I mean, if you haven't picked it up, the HD copies is a pretty good deal for $20. I don't know if it'll stay at $20 for a really long time, but it's got one of the craziest art styles in a game that.
It's one of the critically acclaimed PS2 games anyway, so I actually see it staying at $20 for a while.
You're right. And it's one of those games that I'm sure a lot of people haven't played since it was on PS2. Like, they haven't been going back or whatever.
They keep dressing their white dogs in paint to replicate Okami, so I'm sure those people would be
the hardcore fans. And another PS2 or
dogs like fuck me again.
Two other PS2 games, I guess, that are getting HD remakes. Zone of Enders. Collections.
Zone of
collection
Enders
is coming October 30th, and their big deal for getting people to buy it is it's going to come with the Metal Gear Rising Revengeance demo. Now, keep in mind that they've already said that that demo will eventually go out on its own. You don't have to purchase anything. But the first people to get it, apparently, if you get Zone of Enders HD collection,
you get a 2-day access, and then everyone gets it.
All right. Speaking of Modern Warfare, I guess. Well, actually, speaking 3 topics ago about Modern Warfare, Modern Warfare 3 is getting its last content collection on October 10th, which is 5 new maps. Which is pretty good. I mean, they finished doling out their DLC 2 months before their new game comes out. So, I mean, right up till the next game comes out, they're feeding.
And it's five different versions of Nuketown is what they're doing. It's all people want to play anyway. I
don't think any of us are big COD fans anymore, but they did give out quite a bit of content right up until their next game, and that's not bad. So if you want 5 maps to rock out on for the 2 months before Black Ops 2 comes out, have at it.
It would probably be great if the new Black Ops could actually use the old maps that you just downloaded and spent money on. That way you had quadruple amount of maps to play with.
No, all those maps are classic maps now, so they can sell them back to you in Black Ops 2 as the classic map collection.
I almost had a brain aneurysm. That is so smart.
It's not even smart. They're going to do it.
Seriously, I didn't think of that. Wow, okay, now we're going to resell you Nuketown again for the 8th time.
Man, they are.
That's great. I love it. Woohoo!
You know what they should do is just like get different color palettes for Nuketown and be like, hey, it's a new map. Oh, but it looks like Nuketown. No. Same fun, different place.
Nuketown in the 80s. That'd be awesome. Like all the
I think that's actually one of the maps that is coming up for Black Ops 2.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
So skip Sleeping Dogs because that's not really.
No, that's awesome news because I love that game. We'll go over it quickly. Sleeping Dogs, best-selling game in the UK across all formats. 4th week, it's been the best-selling game, and the only game that even touched it for only a week was Guild Wars 2, and Guild Wars 2 is now 7th best-selling. So Sleeping Dogs is kicking ass in the UK. I don't know how well the Sleeping Dogs is doing in North America, but that game is awesome.
I'm sure it's not well.
The only thing wrong with that game is all the DLC for Sleeping Dogs is utter garbage, and there's not really any hope that you'll ever see anything as good as the stuff that came out for Grand Theft Auto. Now, Esme, I'm pretty sure you like this game.
Oh, the Puppeteer trailer?
Yeah,
yes.
the new trailer for Puppeteer from Japan Studio, the people who made one of my favorite games of all time, Patapon, Loco Roco, games like that. So Japan Studio dropped the new trailer for Puppeteer, which is
awesome.
Which is all kinds of awesome. It's hard to describe easily on a podcast. It's got a Little Big Planet feel to it, but it's dark.
Yeah, it's a way more mature Little Big Planet.
Yeah, so it's set on a stage, and you can hear like the audience react to certain things that you do, and react to like the story that goes out. And the story that I could tell from the trailer was that this monster eats children's souls, and when it eats your soul, your body is detached from your head, and then the head is stuck in the monster's stomach. And the only way to get back your soul is to actually get your head from his stomach.
This is how Sarcastic Gamer ended, by the way. This is how we all moved to BigRedBarel.
Yeah, we finally got our soul back after many, many years. And then the little boy without a head is able to get other heads that give him life
so
or
dirty.
whatever. Ew, I just realized what I was saying. And then it goes to the witch, and then the witch is like, I'll help you if you help me get these scissors, and blah, 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 blah. That's what I got. And also, apparently it's going to have like a life system the same way Mario does, is where, if you lose a lot of lives, then you have to start all over again. So
YOLO.
It's more I don't know, like Little Big Planet I've already played a lot of Little Big Planet, so I've sort of gotten my fix of that, and it would take a lot to get me to play a game that's similar, even though the mechanics are not the same in a lot of aspects. But I'm actually really interested in Puppeteer. Like, it could be really super fun.
I think I knocked on it last time we were talking about it. And then after the podcast, I actually looked at it. And I was like, this looks really fun. Because Rothbard was kind of like, I don't know if I'm interested. I'm like, are you kidding me? This looks pretty way bad. It looks way better than Little Big Planet graphic-wise, It looks more polished, I think.
Japan Studio has, quite a few... I don't know. I've started to use the term art house games under their belt. And this one looks really cool. I mean, it could be, as long as the game itself to play is fun, all those cool visuals and the new little mechanics they put in could make that game, a sleeper hit. Or at least successful enough that we could get a sequel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're going to move on to some of the stuff that dropped from Tokyo Game Show, which is stuff that we kind of knew was going to happen, but PlayStation Plus is, coming to PlayStation Vita, so this November, so it's pretty close, and you basically get exactly what you do on the PS3. So, if you get an instant game collection, so if you have PlayStation Plus, so if you already have PlayStation Plus on the PS3, you automatically have PlayStation Plus on your Vita if it's on the same account. And so you get an instant collection of games for your PlayStation Vita, you get a gig of online cloud storage, automatic updates, automatic trophy sync. It's all the good stuff that you got on your PS3 for your Vita. It's just the Vita version, and that's actually pretty sweet.
Anything to sell those Vitas.
Well, honestly, that adds tremendous value for an extra, $15 for Vita, for PlayStation Plus. Now your Vita, whatever game you buy when you buy your system, you have that plus however many games they give you in the PlayStation Vita collection. I don't know if it's going to be 12 games, because that seems kind of weird considering they don't have that many games to begin with.
We're going to give you 12 games. We only have about 6, so you're going to have to wait.
Say they give you 6, that means you're going to get $6, 6 games for $15, plus whatever you got when you actually picked up your Vita system. Like, that adds quite a bit of value to help them sell Vitas if they can market it properly.
All right.
That's when you add in crickets and move on.
That's when you're like, nobody owns a Vita, so... Anybody that has a Vita, this is going to help you. One guy's like, yay. Everyone else looks at him like, you bought a Vita? Yeah.
Yeah, speaking with even less interest, or speaking of something with even less interest from, I'm sure, a lot of people, we're just going to go over this one really quick, is the PlayStation Store is launching for PlayStation Mobile on October 3rd. So that basically means PlayStation, certified devices like, Xperia and a couple Sony tablets and this, that, and the other thing will actually have access to the PlayStation Store to grab PlayStation content.
Isn't it funny how the Xperia, that phone came out, like a year and a half ago? And that's like a certified device, but since then, devices have leap yeared that. I don't understand like why they have to have Sony certified devices.
They all still suffer from the same problem, is that if you want to play PlayStation 1 games or a lot of the PlayStation content that people think of when they think PlayStation, you need controller, or at least something very close to a controller. Like, you can get tablet games to work good if they were made and built with a tablet in mind, but just porting over stuff and making it work on different devices doesn't work well without controllers.
Actually, there's I just was reading about a certain device called, I think, the MOGA or MOBA, and it's supposed to make your Android. Yeah, it's supposed to make your Android phone an actual controller. So
see, that's the kind of stuff that would make all the difference in the world, because as long as you have the controls there.
But I don't think someone really goes out and tries to buy one of those, because if they are, they're just going to go with just a PSP or a PS Vita. Like, I don't see why they would just, alright, I'm going to get Android phones. They're like $1. I mean, Android controller games are $1, and they're just like Angry Birds, so why would I really buy?
PSP is actually a great deal right now, because I don't know about where you guys live, or if you even noticed, but the price of people who've traded in used UMDs has just gone through the floor. So like games that used to be $15, like if I still had a PSP that used UMDs, actually I guess I still do have one around. But I mean, some of these UMDs for the PSP are super cheap, and there's a massive library there that's getting really inexpensive. But
Pac-Man just hoards like UMDs and
he does.
PSPs.
Well, as long as the PSP still has the most RPGs out of all the consoles, or at least the most RPGs that I want to play out of all the consoles, I'll keep it around. Okay, we're going to move on to this one topic, and I just thought it was cool because of the second quote, just because it says a lot.
So we're going to go through the whole thing, and then the only good part is the end. So go.
Well, we got to hear the beginning to get the end, but basically the big news is BioWare co-founders. The BioWare co-founders are leaving the studio. So
the doctors.
The doctors. So
Dr. Ray
Muska and Greg Zischuk, co-founders of BioWare, they're retiring from the company, and they both wrote a little letter on the BioWare blog saying goodbye. And Muska explained in his letter that I've largely personally achieved what I wanted in video games, and I now desire to take on a brand new entrepreneurial challenge, which is basically the same thing everyone says when they leave a company. But Zachuck, he wrote, "I've reached an unexpected point in my life where I no longer have the passion that I once did for the company, being BioWare, for the games, and for the challenge of creation."
Zing! I think EA has taken away all his soul.
Well, I mean, the BioWare brand has moved so far beyond their original studio members, because even before they got really big, there's more than one group of individuals who were part of BioWare. But now, I see them. They've made their money, they made their mark, and they kind of want out, because BioWare is very quickly a very diluted brand already. But it's kind of messed up that both those guys are leaving the industry entirely, because even if you had beef with some BioWare games, those guys made some sick games.
Well, they also made they were basically, what they should have done was they should have wrote everybody, "Hey, they made a ton of money, I'm out." That's basically what they should have told everybody, because that's the truth. They made a crap ton of money, there's nothing left to do, and they're just going to go spend their money on other things and other projects.
Well, the way that the second quote is basically it feels like I want to continue, but unfortunately I've lost all desire because I've been drained. Yeah. I think the second quote's more like a cry for help, like, guys, it's and so I'm leaving before it takes away more of my
This
sanity.
looks like one of Rothbart's emails we just got a few days ago.
But I mean, what he says is he no longer has passion for that he once did for the company. I mean, that speaks volumes in the fact that was something he chose to say in his farewell address.
Can you imagine these two were saying it out loud, like at a press conference? Like the other guy's like, "Yeah, I'd like to move on to a new challenge," and the other guy's like really negative, and then he's just staring at him like,
that. Yeah, I'm gonna go do something else.
It's like the Kanye West moment. It's like George Bush doesn't care about black people, and then like Mike Myers just looking at him like, "What do I say now?"
Yeah. Way to set me up to fail.
I'll let you finish. Sorry, that was a different Kanye West moment.
Yeah, but that one's actually apt too. But it's weird that like we heard that we already found out that Dragon Age 3 is a reality, another BioWare game that we knew was coming, just like we knew they were going to do another Mass Effect. But I wonder what the next 10 years of BioWare is going to look like without the two guys who basically created it.
Have you noticed there's like PopCap released a lot of people from their company, and the day before they had announced Plants vs. Zombies 2, and then the Plants vs. Zombies creator was let go, and then now it's like, alright, we're losing the two doctors, but wait, Dragon Age 3 is going to come out. Like they're trying to do bad news, good news, but the major creators, the pioneers of both games or both companies is leaving or has left, which is really creepy. This is a weird time in the industry.
It really is. A lot of people are losing their jobs. A lot of people are leaving, companies. It's weird. Usually when the industry is kind of going a certain way where people lose their jobs, people don't leave their jobs. They kind of suck it up. But this industry is so weird because people are just like, yeah, I'd rather be unemployed. I'm just going to go do something else.
There's a lot of dissatisfaction with with AAA development studios and how their employees and the games are made, and the stress and the way bonuses and so many things, like working with having big publishers have final say on QA testing and things like that. A lot of these big companies haven't realized that they need to start treating the creative staff of their projects better, because if you don't, they really will leave and take less money but be able to make smaller indie games, or maybe those games that cost $20 like Torchlight. You'll see a lot more people move away from AAA development and move towards something like Torchlight, which is still has a high quality but is half the price of a full price console game or a new PC game that costs $60. And the only AAA houses that survive are the ones that are pure Hollywood fluff. They'll just throw money behind whatever they want, like movie tie-in games. And the only competition they'll have will be the few really, really good development houses that treat their staff well.
Right.
But okay, we got our last main topic, and it's, again, we all knew it was coming, but we got a new, smaller, lighter PS3 model.
All right.
So there's we got two. We've got.
As you can tell, my dog is very excited.
Yeah. Someone get the honey.
Wait. But so we've got the new lighter, smaller PS3. So they got 250 gig and 500 gig hard disk drives. 25% smaller, 20% lighter. The 250 gig is available on September 25th for $269.99. So no big price. There's no price drop. And it comes bundled with Uncharted 3 Game of the Year edition and a $30 voucher for Dust 514, which is a free to play shooter.
Which is fun too.
I don't know. Just about everyone's probably seen footage or gotten in on the Dust 514 beta. Here's hoping that $30 makes the game a lot more fun. That's all I'm gonna say.
That feels like kind of like a backhanded. Hey, this is a free to play shooter, but we're gonna give you $30 so you can buy all the skins you want. All right, this is a great ass deal. All right, you wanted your to be pink, we got that down for you.
I think Dust 514 may just survive off of the bleed over with the EVE community, just because that community is just fanatical. And they might just keep 514 alive just because they want to keep 514 alive.
Can we talk about the fact that they did not decrease the cost of the older consoles?
Did you hear the reason why, though? It's
No.
so Sony actually came out and said the reason why that they're not lowering the price is because we keep hearing from our fans, stop with all these weird bundles. We just want games, value.
I've been saying that forever.
But their excuse for not lowering the price is blaming it on the customer complaints. That's the dumbest thing you can come out and say.
They didn't want to confuse the market. They just wanted everyone to have a singular price that they can use as their benchmark.
Too many SKUs.
I feel like there's a monkey in like the pricing office of Sony, and they're like, "Hey, should we lower the price?" And they're all right. He said no, so we're not going to do it. It's like they don't know what they're doing when it comes to pricing.
Yeah, they don't. There's a 500 gig new model of the PS3 coming out on October 30th, and it comes bundled with Assassin's Creed 3. That's a pretty good hookup. And the PS3 version of Assassin's Creed 3 comes with 4 extra levels. But it would have been nice to see them even give like a $20-$30 drop in price on the PS3. Would have been nice, but at this point, they really are just kicking the of Nintendo and Microsoft with these game collections because, PlayStation Plus has got a lot of good games. Have gone through that 12 free games that you get for signing up to PlayStation Plus, and if you've been on PlayStation Plus as long as most of us have now, I think we're up to 18 or 19 games now that have technically been free. And not crappy little games like full price $60 titles. But again, with the 500 gig, 250 gig, that doesn't go as far as it used to. I mean, I got a 500 gig hard drive in my old fat PS3, and I gotta tell you, I come close to maxing it out sometimes if I'm not careful.
Hente does
Damn.
that.
And I'm not using Netflix or downloading any other media. Like my 360 and my PS3 have accessed, browsers or Netflix maybe once or twice in, the 5-6 years I've owned the systems.
I like the fact that you can buy movies now. I'm like, where am I going to put it? I'm like, oh yeah, I've got like 3 gigs left. I'll just throw it there. I'm going to watch this how many times?
All right, it's time for the rumors. You got to do the rumors intro.
Yeah, what the hell? This is the problem here. You're writing rumors for me. Yeah, it's not a rumor. Frawlz has to be the happy now. What the hell is this? Frawlz has to be happy edition. Yeah.
Oh, I totally got to see Arnold Schwarzenegger when I was getting my hair done, and he is a short man.
Oh yeah, he's very short. No, most bodybuilders are short. Bodybuilding is the only sport that short people are not discriminated against.
Arnold Schwarzenegger's not short. He's got to be at least 6 feet.
That's funny. I should become a bodybuilder.
You should. Then teach Dave a few things.
But this is something that Frawlz has been bitching about that he wants for a really long time. So the rumor is there's going to be a revamped PlayStation Store coming this October.
Thank God. I should just run Sony. This is all of my ideas.
Stop giving yourself credit for something that you have no part in.
It apparently leaked from PlayStation Australia.
Everything's backwards there.
And basically the quote is, to tie in with the launch, PlayStation Store for PS3 is set to get a new look for October 2012, making it even easier for you to find and download the content you love from the comfort of your sofa.
Unlike the Xbox dashboard that makes you see all these ads, but apparently you can't find your actual game list until you go through 5 different menu options.
Just say Xbox and the Bing will pop up.
Yeah, it's terrible.
That's all you need is Bing. They want to make it confusing, so you have to ask your PlayStation, your Xbox to find shit. It's like, it, I'll just say it and it'll find it for me.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
But this rumor, it's probably true just because October would tie it in with the launch of PlayStation Mobile, with the launch of PlayStation Store being available on PlayStation Mobile devices. So they do it on one side and they do it on the other side in the same month, which makes sense. PlayStation Store getting an overhaul sounds good. I think, Frawlz, you still want to see an overhaul of XMB as well, don't you?
Yeah, there's got to be an overhaul on that. It's just like 6 years.
I'm with you. It could use a facelift. I just every time I hear about them changing it, I just have nightmares of Sony's version of Xbox Live.
I really don't, because, like, for example, Steam already came out with their big picture and play, and it looks remarkable. It looks like what Xbox Live should be, but that doesn't mean Sony should also try to find that. Like, try to copy that, I mean.
You know, I would, if the choice is, you know, the way the XMB is now, or some sort of halfway house, you know, screw-up version of Xbox Live with PlayStation logos, like, oh, I really don't want that. But, I mean, they could definitely do better, because we've had the system we have now for a while.
I just don't feel they all should look the same. Like, now's, like, the Steam big picture and the Xbox look the same. So, I like the way the PlayStation XMB looks, but that's just me.
Wow. Minority. Just saying, right. No one agrees with you on that one.
That's all we've got for this week.
Wow, that was easy.
Minus the audio hiccups, it was actually a pretty good show.
Actually, let's see if this show even recorded, because I think it froze again.
Damn it, woman!
I just go with it, man. I'm just going to stop it when we finish. Go! Just go!
Okay, but we're just going to get to the shout-outs. I'd like to give a shout-out to Matt's Alter Ego, Amber Sparks, Jib, 2233, Surfiro, and Bad Haggis.
Bad Haggis.
And that's weird, because I can't imagine what good haggis is, but you got some shout-outs for
do some sriracha with the Bad Haggis. I want to give a special shout-out to Rupert, right? Rupert, not Rupert. Mike Man 1234. Someone. Really?
What?
Really? It's just getting. This is just anyone and then someone. Fire Muncher, which we already talked about once. He actually found me on a dating website and pretended he was a chick. Had me going for a minute.
Oh my god, really? Creepy.
Yeah, I sent him
reals.
I sent him a picture of my penis. Just saying.
And that ended it right there.
Yeah, he was like, I don't want to play anymore. It's me, Fire Muncher.
Okay. Esme, you got some shoutouts?
So I want to give a shout out to Spec Ops 729. Zombies are kraut. What?
Zombie sauerkraut.
Wow.
It does not say zombie sour. Oh, wait, I see. Okay, Dean Bidler and Hilaire. Spell your names correctly, guys. Don't know what the this says. Hillare.
4 years of this, Esme. Oh, I'm just saying that some of these people create names just to with me. It's not. These aren't even real names. They just make an account that's like.
I think Pac-Man just inserted someone to give you an easy break.
It's like Zombazusefusuf Z. It's like, oh, what does that mean? And then Pac-Man's like, oh, that says Jonathan likes hamburgers. I'm like, where'd you get that from? Really? Okay.
Well, I mean, to be fair, we always do give you the hardest ones on purpose.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. I got someone. I'm pretty happy about that one.
I like how it's like a really complicated name, and like Pac-Man can just read it like a normal.
Yeah, and I feel like an idiot. It's like that says Kevin. I'm like, how? You see the 1 and the 3 in the period and the hyphen? No. Yeah, it spells something too, by the way. I'm like, really? That makes no sense. Okay. Whatever. It's like people just do their in binary. Special thanks to 010112. No, 2. That doesn't count because that's not
2 doesn't count. Yeah. Anyway, Extra Life news.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Before we go, we got to talk about Extra Life, which is coming up October 20th. So it's getting really, really close. If you don't know what Extra Life is, 24-hour gaming marathon, raise money for the Children's Miracle Network. You can choose a hospital or medical facility from a huge list, so you can pick something that's in your area. You're not just giving it to, some random charity. You can donate it to your local children's hospital, which is what I'm doing, or you can pick any number of other things for the Children's Miracle Network. And people, you can have a page to raise money for yourself towards your goal. You can donate to other people. And one of the big things that we've got going this year is BigRedBarel, Joypad and Me, and PlayStation Nation. We're having a showdown in Gran Turismo 5. There's going to be a 3-hour marathon, 3 drivers from each site. We're all going to be competing for a prize pot. So $20 a driver from each of us is going into the pot. Whichever team wins is going to get all, the $60 from each team.
I can just picture like Esme on this thing, and like we come in last. She's like, I had to stop and ask for directions. I'm sorry.
Oh, burn!
Woman joke. It was a woman. It was a
typical woman.
Yeah. I'm just laughing. It's surprising that there actually aren't more sexist jokes on this show.
Wait, on this particular episode?
Well, no, just in general, but maybe this particular episode. But not only are we competing against each other, the community can you donate to one of the drivers, and each donation gets you some votes. So you can help give the team you want to win an edge. So you donate, you have a vote on how damage goes, how many points we have towards which cars we use in the marathon. But either way, it doesn't really matter, since all the money, no matter what, is all going towards Extra Life, and all your donations are tax deductible. It's a fully licensed charity. So go to extralife.org. I think it's extralife.org.
Yes, extra-life.org.
And start your own page to raise money. Lots of people are putting on events, so that's just 3 hours of what I got planned for that 24-hour period. And if you sign up for a VIP, I think it's VIP setup on Extra Life, that means that if you raise over $200, you get a cool Extra Life T-shirt.
And you get entered for contests and stuff. Like last year, people got they got 12 months of free Xbox Live. They got PSN cards. They were able to get these ginormous sleeping bags that look like a tauntaun. So there's a lot of cool stuff that.
It's probably one of the coolest charities going on in gamerdom.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and before I go, Starhawk, September 25th. You're going to be able. Everyone who has PlayStation Plus is getting the single-player version of that game for free, and you can buy just the multiplayer, which is basically all you really want, for $20. Single-player being for free on PlayStation Plus is sweet because it's basically just a long tutorial. But more people should play Starhawk. I know some people are upset that this is how it's gone down so soon, but all the map DLC for Starhawk is free. Just think about that. But we're going to have to move on. That's all we got for this show. We have bonus content, grab it off of iTunes or the Amazon store. And we shall see you all next week.
Yeah.
Or talk to you all next week, and you guys won't see us, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I see you.
Esme in your mouth.
You and your ears are quite welcome for the podcasting goodness that you just heard. Why not roll on over to BigRedBarel.com for more podcasts, news, reviews, and videos from the biggest, reddest site on the internet, BigRedBarel.com.